Today I'm going to show you how to build a 7-Eleven convenience store in Minecraft. The perfect place to grab a snack. And as always, before I start this tutorial, I'd really appreciate it if you consider giving that like button a little smash, as it does help me out. I'd highly appreciate that. But with all that said, let's start building. Here are all the materials that you will need. And the plot of land you'll need for the whole area is 29 by 36 blocks. And then for the 7-Eleven store itself, that is 27 by 19 blocks. So first up, I'm going to get the main road layout done. So for this, I'm going to grab myself some smooth stone. And then coming to the bottom left hand corner just here, I'm just going to replace this whole strip with all this smooth stone to begin with. And then moving to the left hand side, I'm going to leave a gap of 5. And then on the 6th block there, I'm then going to replace that with one smooth stone. I'm just going to mirror that on this side as well. And then I'm just going to extend each of these points so there's 7 long in total. And then once that's done, I'm just going to connect the top points of these two strips together. And then once that's done, I'm now going to grab myself some white concrete. And coming up to the top left hand corner here, I'm going to leave a gap of 3. And then I'm going to place 6 white concrete going down like that. And I'm just going to repeat this going all the way along, leaving a gap of 3 in between. So if you've done everything right so far, you should have 7 spaces just there. And the next up, I'm now going to grab myself some grey concrete. And first, I'm just going to replace this left section there, and also this right section here. And then after that, I'm just going to fill in the rest of this area. And that will leave you with something that looks like this. And the next up, I'm now going to grab myself a diorite wall. And then just in the middle of each kind of space, I'm just going to place one. Just in front. Just going all the way along. Just there. And the next up, moving back to the smooth stone, I'm just going to replace this whole outer red border with all of it. Which should leave you with something that looks like this. And the next up, just where this front grass area is, so this strip, I'm just going to fill that all with smooth stone. And that will give you something that looks like this. So next up, I'm now going to mark out the floor for the actual building. And this will be quite helpful because it's going to act as a really nice guide, so you know where to place all the walls and stuff. So moving to your light grey concrete, from this bottom right corner here, I'm going to count across 7 blocks, including this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I'm going to replace that with the concrete there. And then once that's been placed, I'm going to place another light grey concrete next to that. And then next, switching to my cyan terracotta, then I'm going to place 2 next to that. And then switching again, more light grey concrete. Switching back to the cyan terracotta, 1 of those on the end. So I'm going to be switching between these a lot now. So next up, going back to the cyan terracotta, I'm going to place 4 just above this point here. And then more light grey, more cyan terracotta, and then some more light grey. And as you see, we are creating some sort of checkered pattern here. And then again, cyan terracotta on the left there, light grey concrete, more cyan terracotta, and light grey concrete just there. So next up, moving back to the cyan terracotta, just on this right hand side, I'm going to place another 4 there, and then another 4 light grey concrete. And then coming to the left, I'm then going to place another bit of cyan and some light grey. So just placing these as squares of 4 while alternating them. So just doing that. just until I'm 2 blocks away from this orange border here. And then when I get to this point, I'm only going to place 1 strip of cyan terracotta on the end there. And then moving to the left hand side, just where this cyan terracotta is, I'm going to alternate this going up. So 2 light grey there, 2 cyan terracotta, and just repeating this. But then when I get to this point, I only need to put 1 there. So just doing that all the way up there. And then coming to the other side, I'm going to alternate it this way. So again, 4 cyan there, 4 light grey. So just repeating that. And then when I'm 1 block away from the orange concrete there, cyan. And then rotating around it, I'm going to connect this point with that point. Again, alternating it like I've been doing. So more light grey, more cyan. Doing that all the way along. And by doing that, you should end up with something that looks like this. So once you have done that, now it's time to fill in the rest of this middle section here. And I'm just going to fill this in, continuing that checkered pattern. So for example, for this row here, I'm going to do the opposite of what I've done in this row. So if I've done light grey there, then I'm going to do cyan on top. And if I've done cyan here, then I'm going to do light grey on top. So I'm just going to keep repeating that all the way across. And then for the next layer, again, just doing the opposite. So you're just doing that for the rest of this area. By the end, you should have something that looks like this. A nice checkered floor pattern there. And the next up, I'm just going to replace all of this orange border with this smooth stone. And then replacing the rest of the grass areas with some more smooth stone as well. So with everything filled in, you should have something that looks like this. So next up, we can now start making the actual building. So for all this, firstly, I'm going to need to grab myself some green concrete. And then come into this bottom left corner at the front here. I'm going to place 1 green concrete there. And just extending that across. So it's 4 blocks long in total. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 5. And then place another green concrete there. And extending that. So it's 4 blocks in total as well. And then I'm going to extend each of these points up so they're 5 blocks high in total. And that should give you something that looks like this. And the next up, I'm now going to grab myself some grey concrete. And then come into the right hand side. From this point, I'm going to leave a gap of 3. And I'm going to place 1 grey concrete there. I'm going to build that up so it's 5 blocks high. And then come into the other side. I'm going to leave a gap of 3, place 1 grey, gap of 3, place 1 grey, and then place 1 final bit of grey there. And then I'm going to extend these points up so they're 5 blocks high. So they're level with everything else. And then moving around to the right hand side. I'm going to leave a gap of 3. Place 1, leave a gap of 3, and then place another 1. And then extend these up so they're 5 high. And then mirroring the same thing on the other side here. So again, gap of 3, place 1, gap of 3, and then place another 1. And then building these up so they're 5 high in total. And then once these pillars have been placed, moving back to the green concrete. Starting on this side here. From this point, I'm going to build across 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then just building this wall up so it's level with everything else. And then doing the same thing on this side. So again, going across by 6. And then building this all the way up. So you should have 2 big green walls like this. And then once they have been built, I'm now going to switch to some white concrete. Starting on this right hand side here, from this point, I'm now going to build across 7 blocks. Like that. And then from this point, I'm going to build this all the way across to form our back wall here. And then when I get to that point, so 1 block out from this green wall here, I'm then going to build across another 6 blocks until I reach there. And then I'm just going to build this entire white wall that we've marked out. So it's 5 blocks high in total. Again, level with everything else. So by doing that, you should end up with something that looks like this. And the next up, I'm now going to grab myself some red concrete, some orange concrete, and we've already got ourselves some green concrete. So firstly, come into the left hand side just over here. On this second block, I'm going to place 1 orange concrete there. And then leaving a gap, I'm then going to place a green. Leaving a gap, I'm then going to place red. And then I'm just going to build each of these points up so they're 5 blocks high. Again, leveling with everything else. And that'll give you something that looks like this. I'm just going to do the same thing on this other side, mirroring what we've done there. So on the second block here, 1 red. And then leaving a gap, some green. Leaving a gap, and then some orange. And then building each of these points up so it's level with everything else. And then after that, I'm now going to grab myself some black stained glass panes. Starting on this right hand side, I'm just going to fill in these first 2 windows with all of this glass. And then moving around to the front, filling in this window here. And then for this big section, this is going to be our main entrance. So for the doors, I've already got the glass, but I'm also going to need some deep slate tile walls. So firstly, I'm going to place 2 glass panes on either side. And then another one on each side. And then switching to the deep slate tile wall, placing a wall next to each pane there, and then another 2 panes on each side, and then just building the rest of them up. And that'll give us our doors. And then moving to the left hand side, I'm just going to fill in the rest of these 5 windows here. And that'll give you something that looks like this. And now for some extra details, I'm now going to add some bushes. So for that, I'm going to grab myself some oak leaves. So firstly, for the front, from this point, I'm going to go across 4 blocks. And then on that 4th block, I'm going to place 1 oak leaf there. And extend that across so it's 7 long in total. And then moving to the right hand side, I'm going to count across 3, including that 3rd block, placing 5 just there. And then mirroring the same thing on this side. So again, 1 in the middle there, 2 on each side. And the next up, moving back to the green concrete. From this point, I'm going to build across 7 blocks. And then extending this by another 3 rows. And then after that, coming back to the front, on this corner here, I'm going to place another green concrete there. And I'm going to extend this up so it's 7 high in total. So including that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just there. I'm just going to do that for each corner. So going up by 7 blocks. And that'll give you something that looks like this. And then I'm just going to connect these top sections together. Like this. And then I'm going to fill in the top. And then filling in the sides. Filling in the back. And then finally filling in the front. And then for the 7-Eleven sign, with some white concrete, starting on this block here, I'm going to go across 5 to begin with. And then moving to the red concrete, I'm going to place 1 in the middle there. And then 2 white concrete either side. And then another red concrete in the middle, another 2 white concrete. And then this time, 3 white concrete there, and then another red, and then a white. And then 1 white on the left, 2 orange, 1 red, and then 1 white. And then to finish this off, 1 more row of 5 white concrete on top, just there. And that will complete the logo. And then after that, moving back to the white concrete, from this point here, I'm going to build all the way across until I'm on top of this grey pillar here. And I'm moving around, and then going to build this across, going all the way to the end here. And then going across the back wall until I reach just there. And then building this back down here until I'm on top of this grey pillar. And then just connecting to the green entrance there. And the next up, I'm just going to build these front areas out by 1 more. So sticking with the white concrete, firstly I'm just going to build this front section out. And also building out this side area. So just making that a little bit thicker there. And then doing the same thing on this side. So again, just making it thicker, going all the way around until I meet there. And the next up, from this point, with the white concrete, I'm just going to build all the way along this outer edge. So just going all the way around there. Just until I meet there. And I'm moving back to this area here. I'm then going to place 5 white concrete going up there. And then just where I have placed all the white concrete going around, just there, I'm just going to extend all of this up by another 5 blocks. So just doing this, going all the way around. And you should end up with something that looks like this. So a really big white wall. Firstly, on this red pillar, I'm going to place another 2 red concrete there. And then from this point, I'm going to build across just until I'm 1 block out here. And then just bringing that around to connect with the green entrance there. And then this time for the green concrete, I'm going to place another 4 blocks on top there. And then again, building that across and around to meet with the entrance. And then this time with the orange concrete, I'm going to build up 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then again bringing this across and round. And then I'm going to do pretty much the same thing for the other side. So again, moving back to the red concrete on this red pillar. Firstly placing 2. And then going across and around. As you see on this side, it is a little bit shorter. And then for this green pillar, with the green concrete, I'm going to place 4. And then going across and around. And then for this orange pillar, going up by 6. And then going across and around. And that'll give you something that looks like this. So next up, onto the roof and ceiling. So coming over to the top here, with some white concrete. Starting at this top left hand corner here, just near the entrance. I'm going to place 2 white concrete there. I'm just going to build this going all the way across to the other side. And that'll give you something that looks like this. And then after that, I'm going to leave a gap and then place 3. Leave a gap, place 3. Leave a gap and then place another 3. And then I'm just going to mirror that on the other side. And then I'm just going to connect each of these points together. So like this for the first one. And then doing the same thing for the other 2 points. And the next up, I'm then going to place 2 white concrete on the left side. Each strip there. And then doing the same thing on the right side. And next up, I'm now going to grab myself some white stained glass. And firstly, starting at this point, I'm going to place one, leave a gap of 3, place another one, leave a gap of 3, just repeating that until I get to the end there. And just doing the same thing for these other 2 strips. And then once that's done, I'm just going to fill in the rest of these hollow areas with some more white concrete. And the reason why I am using white stained glass is because I'm going to be making an automatic light system here, because there's so much space and it's a shame to waste it all, so I thought this would be the perfect build to test it on. So first up, I'm going to grab myself some redstone lamps. And I'm just going to place 1 redstone lamp on each glass block. So you should get something that looks like this. And the next up, I'm now going to grab myself a repeater. And I'm just going to place 1 repeater in front of each redstone lamp. And the next, I'm now going to grab myself some redstone dust. I'm just going to place rows of 9 going across here. Just connect each 3 repeaters up. You should get something that looks like this. And we're coming to this top left corner here. On this block, I'm then going to place 1 redstone dust just there. And then I'm going to grab another repeater and then going to place 1 just there. And then I'm going to place 3 redstone dust coming down. And then I'm just going to connect it with the dust just there. And then after that, I'm then going to place another 3 just here. And then I'm going to place 1 on each side. Repeater in the middle. Then I'm going to place another 3. And then again 1 on each side. Repeater in the middle. And that should be the circuit complete. And then if I come back downstairs into the main area, I'm now going to grab myself a lever. And I'm going to place it just in that corner there. So now hopefully when I turn this on, it should light the whole place up. There we have it. And of course you can turn it back off again. And then going to this corner here, I'm going to count up 4 blocks. And on that 4th block, I'm going to place 1 bit of stone there. And then I'm just going to fill in this entire roof with all of this stone. So you should have something that looks like this. And if I just destroy this stone here, as you can see, you can still access the redstone if something happens to it, because you never know. And the next up, for some air vents and fans for the top, I'm going to need myself a block of iron, some rails, and also a diorite wall. So coming to the top left hand corner here, on this point here, so 3 blocks away from each other, I'm going to place 1 block of iron there. And then I'm just going to make that a 2x2 square there. And then on the right hand side, 1 diorite wall there. And then 4 iron, another diorite wall, and then 4 more iron. And then moving to the middle bit here, just on the second block there, I'm then going to place another diorite wall there, and then another block of iron, and then making that a 2x2 square, and then another 2 diorite walls, and then 1 just on the right hand side there. And then for some fans, I'm going to be using some rails here. I'm just going to place 4 rails in a circle. Just there. And that completes our roof. And then another extra detail, I'm going to grab myself a lantern. And I'm just going to place 1 on the right hand side there. And then 1 there, leaving a gap of 7. And another 1 on the end there. And there we have it. That is all of the exterior complete. So now moving on to the interior. So first up, I'm going to show you how to create some fridges. So for this, firstly, I'm going to grab myself some grey concrete. So firstly, going to this corner here, I'm going to go across 4 blocks. And on that 4th block, I'm going to place 1 grey concrete there. I'm just going to build that up so it's 4 blocks high in total. And then I'm going to leave a gap of 2 and then place another 4 grey concrete. And then next up, I'm now going to grab myself an iron block. And first, I'm just going to place 2 in the gap there. And then 3 there. And then another 2 coming out of that. And I'm moving back to the grey concrete. And then I'm going to place another 4 there. And then another 2 block of iron. Then another 4. Another 2 block of iron. Another 4. Another 2 block of iron. And then finally another 4. Just there. And then for the fridge shelves, I'm going to grab myself some quartz stairs. And then I'm just going to place 6 in that gap there. And then for this one, I'm actually going to place 5 there. And then repeat that another 2 more times. For our little corner fridge. And then for these other 3, just placing another 6 stairs. Inside there. And then to top off these fridges, I'm going to grab myself some green carpet. And just placing that carpet all on top. Just there. And that'll give us our fridges. And the next up for a little central shelf unit. So starting at this block here, I'm going to go across 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And then down 1. And on that block, I'm then going to place 1 quartz stair just there. And then I'm going to place 1 on the left, and then going round, and then going to place another 4. And then going round, placing another 1 there on the left, going round, then filling in 3 in that gap. And that'll give us something that looks like this. And the next, I'm going to grab myself some grey carpet. I'm just going to place 10 on top there to top that off. And the next up for some shelves over here. So for these, firstly, with some more grey concrete. From this point here, I'm going to place 2 grey concrete there. So it should be 3 blocks away from this green wall there. I'm going to build that up so it's 4 blocks high in total. And then going around, leaving a gap of 2. Placing another pillar there. Gap of 2, another pillar. Gap of 2, and finally just 1 pillar on the end there. And then moving back to the quartz stairs, I'm just going to place 8 stairs in each section at the front here. And then doing the same on the other side. And then to finish that shelving off with some green carpet, just topping all of this off. Just there. And next up for the checkout / food area here. So firstly for this, I'm going to grab myself some grey concrete again. And then from this point, I'm going to go across 3 in total. So 1, 2, 3. And on that 3rd block, I'm going to place 1 grey concrete there. And the next, I'm now going to grab myself some deep slate tile stairs. I'm going to place 4 going across. And then 2 grey concrete, and then another 4 deep slate tile stairs. And then 1 grey concrete on the end there. And then going round, leaving a gap of 2, and then placing 2 on the end. And then coming to the back wall here, sticking with the grey concrete, I'm going to leave a gap of 2, and then placing another 4 there. And then another gap of 2, placing 1, another gap, and then just 1 on the end there. And the next up, I'm now going to grab myself some smooth quartz slabs. I'm going to go place, firstly, 1 on the left hand side there, leaving a gap of 4, then placing 2, leaving a gap of 3, and then placing 2 on the end there, and then just 2 on that grey concrete there. And then for the main checkout / tills area, I'm going to grab myself firstly some iron trapdoors, going to place 2 there. And for the cash register, I'm going to grab myself some stone brick stairs and an oak sign. I'm going to place 1 stone brick stair there with an oak sign just behind it. Oh, and for the entrance as well, you're going to need a oak fence gate. Just 2 of them on the right hand side. And the next up for the hot food section. So for this, I'm going to grab myself some black stained glass blocks. And I'm just going to place 4 just there. And on top, I'm then going to place 4 iron trapdoors. And then coming to the back, this now adds some lovely food here. So firstly, with some grey concrete, I'm going to place 1 on each side. And the next, I'm going to grab myself some cauldrons. And then some armor stands. And I've already got an iron trapdoor. So firstly, on this right hand side, I'm going to place 2 cauldrons there. But then, with these 2 blocks, I'm going to destroy these. And I'm going to place 2 iron trapdoors there. And then 2 armor stands. So for the food here, I've got myself 3 custom heads. I got myself a burger, a hot dog, and a pepperoni pizza there. And if you don't know how to get these custom heads, I will show you now. So if you head over to minecraftheads.com, there are loads of custom heads to choose from. So you just type in what you're searching for. And as you can see, there will be loads of heads you can choose from here. And if you choose your one and then copy one of the commands for the correct version, paste it in a command block, and that will give you your head. Happy days. The links to each of these heads will be in the description. And if you are on Bedrock Edition, instead of these heads, you can just use a cake instead. But obviously, if you're using cakes, you wouldn't need these armor stands and iron trapdoors. You would just place another 2 cauldrons there. But yeah, so anyway, so firstly, I'm going to grab my lovely hot dog here. Just place 1 of those there. And then next to that, just add the burger there. And then for the pizzas, with the pizza head, I'm just going to place each pizza on top of each armor stand there. And then switching to a cauldron, I'm going to place 2 on top. And then to push these down, I'm going to need a block of redstone and a piston. So I'm going to place a block of redstone there, piston going down, and then a piston next to that. And that'll push them down by 1 bit. And then moving the redstone block down by 1 more, doing the same thing. Then destroying the pistons and the redstone. As you see, that will push the cauldrons into the armor stands. And that'll make the pizzas look nice and big there. But as you see, by having this glass section, you can see all of the lovely food here. And the next up for a menu board. So for this, I'm going to grab myself some chains and also some black wool. And I'm just going to place 1 chain there, leaving a gap of 2, and another 1. And then I'm just going to place 4 black wool going across there. And then I'm going to grab myself some item frames. I'm going to place 4 there. And then I'm going to add the hot dog head there, a burger head there, and then 2 pizza heads there. But then as you see, you can't actually see the pizzas. But what you can do, I'm just going to rotate them so like that. And that'll give us our menu board. And then moving to the back, for a fridge, I'm going to grab myself a piston. And I'm going to place 4 on that side, and then 4 on this side there. And then next up, for a slashing machine, I'm going to grab myself a block of coal. I'm going to place one there. And I'm also going to grab myself a tripwire hook, some cyan stained glass, and also an iron trapdoor. So I'm going to place the cyan glass on top with the trapdoor, and then one tripwire hook just there. And then for a coffee machine, I'm going to grab myself a quartz stair. I'm just going to place one there. And then I'm going to get myself an item frame and some cocoa beans. One item frame there with the cocoa beans there. And then for a little coffee mug, I like to use a flower pot for that. And the next up for an oven. So for this, I'm going to grab myself an iron block. I'm just going to place 2 of them there. And on top, I'm going to grab myself furnace and then place 2 there. And then 2 iron trapdoors on top. And then for the oven handles, I'm going to get myself an item frame with a quartz slab. 2 item frames there. Quartz slabs rotated round like that. And the next up, I'm now going to grab myself a black banner. And then you're going to need 2 white dye. And I'm also going to grab myself a loom. Place that down. So for this black banner in with the white dye, I'm just going to put a white border around for each banner. Oh, I'm going to need another banner as well. So I'm going to need 2 black banners for that. So just doing that again. And then I'm just going to place each of these banners in front while shifting for our oven doors there. And that gives us our oven. And then on the end here, we're going to add ourselves a deep fryer. So for this, I'm going to dig down one. And then place an iron trapdoor down there. And it's similar to what we've done with these pizzas. I'm going to grab myself an armor stand. Place one there. And then I'm going to get myself a chainmail helmet. And place one there. And then again, I'm going to grab myself a cauldron, a piston, and a redstone block. And then I'm just going to place the cauldron there. Piston on top, redstone, and that'll push that down to create our little fryer there. And then I'm going to grab myself an oak sign. I'm going to place one in front there. And then I'm also going to grab myself a stone brick stair. I'm going to place one on top there for a little extractor unit. And with the fireplace, that completes the kitchen / checkout area. But there's still one thing missing in the store. As you can see, it is, well, it's pretty empty. So now it's time to stock it up. So to make items look like they're hanging on shelves, I'm going to need myself an invisible item frame. And for this, you're going to need a command like this. We'll make sure there's a slash there. I'll put this command in the description. I know this works for Java, and I think you can do it in Bedrock as well. I'll put both commands down in the description if I can find a way for both of them. But yeah, so I'm just going to press enter there. So firstly, come into the set of fridges here. I'm going to place one item frame on each stair. Just like that. And I'm also going to place some going around this central bit here. And then I'm going to place another 4 item frames in front of these deep slate stairs. And the same on this side. And then finally placing some more invisible item frames on these shelves. So just on those quartz stairs again. And there we have it. With all the item frames placed, it's now time to stock up this store. So first thing I'm going to grab myself a cake, a cookie. I'm also going to grab myself a banner pattern. I think that looks like a packet of crisps. And then I'm also going to grab myself a book, a honey bottle, a water bottle, an enchantment potion, a swiftness potion, and then finally some milk. So first up, let's stock up this drinks section here. For this firstly, I'm going to add some honey bottles there. And then next to that, I'm going to add some water bottles. And then some bottles of enchanting. Some potions of swiftness. And then some buckets of milk on this end section here. They kind of look like ice cream as well. So that'll be the fridge section. And then for this middle section here, I'm going to add some books. Just going around. And then coming to this section here, I'm going to place some cookies on the left hand side. And then some cake on the right. And then for these shelves here, I'm going to place some cookies on the left, followed by some cake, followed by these banner patterns. And then I'm going to place some more banner patterns on the left hand side on this side. And then now I'm also going to grab myself some sweet berries and some glow berries. And then I'm just going to place the sweet berries here in the middle, and then the glow berries on the end. And there we have it, with the whole store stocked up. That is 7-Eleven all complete. So I hope you did enjoy this tutorial, and I hope you are pleased with your final result. And as always, if you did enjoy this tutorial, I'd really appreciate a little smash on that like button. And I've also got a Discord, so if you just want to join my server and just, you know, hang out in there, just meet the community and stuff, then the link to that is in the description as well. But yeah, so until next time, thanks for watching, and have a good day.